now that we're gonna go ahead and go. Hey everyone, my name is Bridget and welcome to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be talking about my top 10 list of other animals I would like to have. I've been doing this little mini series here on my channel of top 10 animals I would like to have. I started with top 10 reptiles I'd love to own, then I went to top 10 amphibians, and I recently did the top 10 aquatics I would like to own. So I mean, because there are other animals in the world, I wanted to kind of include that in another list, but like I said, I wasn't sure what to call it, so we're gonna call it other. This is also kind of weird because it includes furry animals, animals with wings, and then like invertebrate style animals. So it's kind of a top 10 where I start with 10 being the least likely for me to own and 1 being the most likely for me to own. I kind of have it broken down into like halves where I've got a top 5 and a top 5. And because I am more into the invertebrate side of things, I'm gonna let that be my most exciting top 5, and we'll start with the kind of basic top 5 that would be at the top of the top 10 list. This doesn't make any sense. I think you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. It's a top 10, but the first 5 are gonna be like furry-ish style, and then the bottom 5 are gonna be more invertebrate style. Hope that makes sense. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So to get started with the fur/wing style animals, we're gonna go with 10. Okay, number 10, ferrets. Ferrets have such a special place in my heart because I had them growing up as a kid. We actually had 4. 2 of the standard like wild type, I guess, and then we also had 2 albino. I just remember them being so much fun. The way that they run around like little crazy socks. They're like weasels, but cats, but dogs, but literal socks. I don't know. I love ferrets so much. The noise that they make when they get really excited, that little boop, boop, boop. I don't know how to explain it. It's the cutest thing ever. I would love to have ferrets again someday, but I do realize that with an inside cat, I don't feel comfortable doing that because my cat has the run of the entire house except for our animal room and the bird room. If we had ferrets in here, it wouldn't be fair to either of them. So I think if I do get ferrets someday, we're gonna have to do a situation where we no longer have a cat, which I don't even want to think about. That would kind of be the only way that I would feel comfortable bringing ferrets into the home again, is if they have plenty of space to roam around as well. Number 9 on the list is kind of similar with that because it is rabbits. I love rabbits as well. I think they're so fun and so cute, but I don't have a space in the house right now for them to have enough space because I just don't like the idea of having like animals like that being in such small quarters. I would rather them have their own dedicated room, and since we currently have a reptile dedicated room and a bird dedicated room, we're kind of like running out of bedrooms, so I can't have rabbits right now. I would love to though. Again, I did have a rabbit when I was growing up. It was gray, that's all I know. I have no idea what type of rabbit it was. It was purchased for me by my dad, I think. I have a horrible memory. Anyway, I was very young, had no idea what I was doing. It was one of those situations where like your parent buys the kid something and expects you to kind of like take it over, but you don't know what you're doing. Needless to say, this rabbit did not live very long. It's actually kind of a traumatizing story, so I'm not gonna get into that, but I loved that rabbit and I'd love to have other rabbits again someday. Number 7 on the list is ducks. Ducks are fun. I love ducks. I don't know what kind of duck, I don't care what kind of duck. Ducks make me happy. Like anytime I go to the park, I don't know, they can be kind of snippy with you whenever they want to eat some food, but like for the most part, they're pretty chill, just waddling around. They look super cute. I love the noises that they make. They're little quacks. And of course, they would have an outdoor enclosure. I would not have ducks if I could not provide that for him, but like we got a few acres over here, and so I feel like we could put some ducks out there. That's how I feel. I feel like we can get some ducks. My husband thinks otherwise, but like, happy wife, happy life. Number 6 on the list, I've spoken about this before, and that is a cockatiel. I love cockatiels. They're so sweet. I don't know, their little faces, their little boopy head. I love the noises that they make and their little personality. I mean, Alex the honking bird Tell me you guys know Alex the honking bird. I love him. I could watch him and listen to him literally all day long. I don't know if we'll ever have a cockatiel because we do have Sydney, and I've talked about getting another bird in the house to have like a playmate for her, but I know that it's not a great idea right now until Sydney and I have a better bond, especially like I don't want her feelings to be hurt or us to backtrack at all because she's jealous of this other bird interacting with me. I don't know. If Sydney comes around a little bit, maybe we'll get a cockatiel. I don't know. I just love them. And number 5 on the list, which would have been my number 1 for fur and wing animals, same situation. Don't know if it is something that I could successfully have, especially with having Sydney in the house. I want Budgies so bad. I've always loved Budgies. Again, another pet that I had as a kid. I had the green coloration and the blue coloration named Conway and Tweety. So cute, so much fun. Again, they didn't last very long, and I'm unsure as to why. There's a lot of things from my childhood, especially when it comes to animals, that I'm mostly unaware of, but the things I am aware of, I'm not very proud of. Maybe I'll do a video on that someday where I talk about like past animal experiences. They are freaking cute beans of a bird. Their sounds, their little beaks, their beautiful colorations, tiny. Like, I get so scared of Sydney biting me and like when she strikes me and stuff. A budgie, you could just gnaw on my hand and I would not care. But again, we have Sydney. I don't think that she would love budgies. I've seen Indian ringnecks around budgies before, but that's kind of risky to me because there's such a huge size difference between the two. Even though I want budgies so bad, I couldn't have them anywhere in the house because of our cat, so they would have to go in like the bird room. Can I even like have them out together, all 3 or 4 of them, without Sydney attacking the little ones? I don't know. It's a scary thing. That's why I don't have them. I don't know if I'll ever have them as long as we have Sydney, just because of the size difference. But I just want you guys to know that they're on the list because my heart says budgie, but my brain says nope. Oh, my leg is so numb right now. All right, so now we're gonna get into the invertebrate side of things, which is my top 5. Number 5, this is a little weird, I get it, okay? But we have them around here in Texas and they're huge and interesting, but also kind of scary. Like, I'm a little bit intimidated, but I think they're really, really cool, and that is a walking stick. I don't know. I know that their lifespans are super short, especially the ones around here that get so large. I'm talking like large. They would have to have a large enclosure. So it seems kind of crazy to have like such a large enclosure inside the house for a big old walking stick, but they're cool. It does kind of intimidate me a little bit just because of their size. I mean, if I could get like a little one, that would be ideal, but I just think walking sticks are pretty cool. I like their movements. So don't judge me, but they're number 5. Number 4 is pretty standard, and I would probably end up with some of these someday, and that is millipedes. Now, I can't do a centipede. Centipedes are Preveville to me, but millipedes, kind of halfway creepy, halfway super cool. I think they're super cool, but I mean, all those little legs are kind of a little bit like, you got a lot of legs, bro. But again, I don't know, they're fun. They're apparently really easy to keep. I know a lot of people who have millipedes, especially like super giant ones. Oh my gosh, I don't know which type that I would have again, but I think having millipedes just in general, like a group of 3 or 4 of them or something, would be pretty cool. Number 3 is kind of an obvious one for me because you guys know how I feel about my aquatic snails, land snails. I want land snails so bad, and I really don't know how it would end up happening because I don't love the idea of things being taken from the wild to be kept as a pet, but in this circumstance, that's kind of how it would be. Here in Texas, we have these brown garden snails. They're just standard, common. I think they're Helix aspersa or something. I will put it on the screen if I was incorrect about that, but they're invasive. They are a pest snail that live in people's gardens and they tear some stuff up. So if I were to have some land snails someday, I'd probably go and gather a few of those after it rains and just keep them in my house. Now, they do procreate. They do have eggs and baby snails. Because of them being an invasive species, I obviously can't keep all those snails and I can't release them in the wild. So it would be a situation where I either use them as food for people who have things like blue-tongued skinks or chameleons. I do know a couple of people who have those animals that I could give them to, or I would have to humanely euthanize. I don't know what I would do in that circumstance. Here in the US, land snails that you see, like the Congo snails, the giant African land snails, they are not legal here, and that crushes me because I see those posts all the time of people having this giant snail on their hand, and I'm jealous. I want to just carry one around like a little sack. I don't know. Little coin purse snail, you know, how cool would that be? I want one so bad, but they're not legal, so I cannot have one. I'm gonna say it's okay. It's not okay, but it's gonna have to be okay. Maybe someday they'll become legal again. Doubt it, but if they did become legal again, your girl would have one, or like 5. All right, number 2 on this list is pretty simple. I'm definitely gonna have these because I want them for myself in general. Could use them for bioactives. My stepson would really love to play with them, and that's isopods. There are so many different species of isopods. I see all these people who have these like vast collections of isopods, but like honestly, once you get one and you know what you're doing, because there are all these different colorations, like why wouldn't you? They're really cool, they're fun, they're interesting, they're a great cleanup crew. I would probably have them more as pets than I would cleanup crew just because I love them. The roly-polies that we have outside, I play with those all the time. I'm a full-grown adult, but I go play with bugs outside. Okay, don't judge me. I love isopods, and I will definitely be getting some in this house. And now we've reached number 1. These are a big deal. I've never had one before, but they're outside all the time, and I love seeing them. My little heart explodes when I see one outside. I say this now, and as soon as I get one and then it passes after its like 6-month lifespan, I'm probably gonna be really depressed and then say that I can't do it anymore. But until then, I'm gonna say that they're my number 1 and I wanna have them for the rest of my life because I might, and that's mantids. Praying mantis, for those who don't know, God, there's so many different types. Again, they're creepy looking, but they're also just really, really interesting to watch, especially when you get really close to them and you're able to get like that really good look at their face. The way that their little eyes move and the way that they eat their food and their hands and everything, I don't know. I love them. They're so cool to me, and I have several different ones that I would like to get someday and try out. Each one has their own individual care, by the way, but yeah, I don't know. I want to give it a try, and I know what supplies that I need, and I think that it's going to end up happening pretty soon, so we will see. Well, alright guys, that's going to be it for my video today. My little top 10 list of other types of animals I would like to own. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I am going to do one more installment of this series, I think, because I can't really think of anything else in terms of a category to talk about, so I just have one more. The series is really fun, and it's interesting to watch other people's take on it too, so I hope that you guys are enjoying it as well. But that's going to be it for my video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, please give us a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button on your way out. I really appreciate it. Also hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload next, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!